Before you buy your first RV, we have 10 things that you'll need to be prepared for when you go camping.
We'll link all of these items in the description below so you can find them yourself. First, we'll take a look at your electrical setup. You need to have a cord to actually get electricity. Here's ours. It is 50 amp because we have a 50 amp RV. Be sure to get the right service cord for your RV. Besides your regular electrical cord, you'll want one of these reducers, especially if you have a 50 amp vehicle, because sometimes parks will have the option of 50 or 30 or will only have 30. So this is a 50 to 30 amp reducer, and there also are 30 to 15 if you need to go that low. And you would just plug in your cord to this end and then plug this into the electrical for the park.
Next, you want to make sure you have a surge protector just in case something happens at the electrical box. There's a thunderstorm or some lightning strikes. We had an instance where we were at a park and we hooked up the surge protector and it discovered that there was a surge going on at that spot. So if we had just plugged in our RV, then we may have had some issues in the RV. Next, you're gonna wanna make sure you have your water hoses. It's recommended that you have one for your fresh water and one for your flushing when you decide to flush the black tank, to make sure that nothing gets in, like kind of backflows. It does have a backflow preventer in there usually, just to make sure that nothing comes back into your drinking water. So you have two hoses. Now, we actually find that you need probably 50 feet length of hoses for each. So we've run into a spot where our 25-foot hose wasn't quite long enough. It was about 30 feet. So we had to go and buy another one to be able to use the fresh water. So we actually bought a 50-foot hose, this blue one right here, and that takes care of us for the water supply, and then our two hoses that we bought for the flushing. Along with your hoses, you're going to want a pressure regulator. So in case the pressure is too much coming from the park, you can step it down so you won't have any issues blowing out any fittings or anything like that inside the RV. And we get a Y connector here so we can hook up both our fresh water and the water for flushing. We can just hook that up without having to mix things up and switch things back and forth. And a water filter also. So you want to be able to filter out anything that comes maybe from the RV park. We've had where there's a little bit of like sediment or something that kind of ruined our water pitchers. So we made sure to get a water filter here to filter that out. Guys, you want to talk about the sewer? Is that what the sewer do? Now for sewer, you're going to want to have a couple of sewer hoses. So we got these nice long sewer hoses here with the bayonet ending on it. So it connects to your black flush, and we recommend getting 2, possibly 3 if you need to, especially if you have a second bathroom. That's going to give you plenty of room to get to the spot where your sewer dump is on your RV spot, because sometimes like we have a big rig, so we need a lot of length on our sewer hose to be able to get to the dump. We also recommend getting an elbow for right here. It just makes the connection go a lot smoother, and especially if it's clear. This is the nasty part, is when you're dumping, you can see just how clear the water is getting as you go along, so you know if your tank is completely flushed out and taken care of. And on this end of the sewer hose, you want to make sure you have an elbow as well to make the connection going into the sewer dump. And also having it maybe a clear color too will help out, also in case you don't have clear color on the other end, so you know just how well your dumping is going. And we also recommend getting this Sidewinder here, which is a slope support for your RV sewer hose. And as it's sloped, it helps it go down to the sewer hose. Gravity naturally take the dumping down into the dump. And some parks actually require you to have your sewer hose off the ground.
Keep in mind you don't have a regular toilet in your RV, so you do need special materials for that as well. Make sure you have RV toilet paper that will dissolve easily and not clog up your system, as well as chemical enzymes that will help break things down that you use every time after you flush. And make sure you use the same kind each time. You don't want to mix chemicals.
You're also going to want to make sure you have levelers like these blocks here to put underneath your landing gear to make sure, like, you know, sometimes there isn't enough height, like it might be on a slope, so you might want to have some more underneath your front levelers. You might need some more under your back levelers. Sometimes you might not be level side to side, so putting these down underneath will help you to level things out before you either use your auto leveler or you try leveling it out yourself. just like in this instance where this side is a little bit lower than this side. So we put 2 of these blocks underneath this side and 1 under there. For added safety for your RV, we recommend getting chocks to put underneath your tires. That way, just in case you may be on a slope, your RV doesn't roll back, go downhill or something like that. You know, it's very good to have these just in case. So you just put them right underneath your tires like so.
This may seem pretty small, but it's pretty important. It can save you a lot of trouble. You also need some insect screens. We have the basic insect screen here. We have mud dauber screens over here, basically to keep wasps out. And then we have some here and above as well.
Now these are things you may not need right away, but they will be helpful for you once you start doing your regular maintenance on your RV, is slide out rubber seal conditioner, and you spray this on the rubber seals to keep them in good working condition so they don't kind of dry out and kind of break apart on you. And then slide out dry lubricant, and this will go under. This will keep your slide out gears working in optimal condition.
This is for 5th wheel owners only. If you have a 5th wheel, you're actually going to need to purchase a hitch. Here's ours. And make sure you leave plenty of time to get it installed before you need to take your RV home. Along with the hitch, it's recommended to get one of these silicone discs for some added protection between your RV and the hitch. Seems pretty small, but again, it can make a big difference. To round it out, we have this backup camera, which worked great for the first few months that we were RVing. Unfortunately, we were in a snowstorm and it stopped working. Even after we replaced it, we've still had some issues, but it really does increase your visibility when you're driving your RV.
Something that's nice to have that didn't quite make our cuts for what you actually need are these air vent covers. So if you notice, the air vent will open one way, and then the cover here has opening the other way. So it kind of helps protect, like if you want to keep your vents open and it's raining out, then this is a way to prevent the rain from coming in. We hope you found this video useful, and for all of you full-time RVers, if you have any other suggestions, please let us know in the comments below. We'll be sure to add that in a future video. And remember that you can find these items in the description below, so you can find them easily on Amazon. Be sure to subscribe to our channel to get more of our tips and see all of our adventures.